Hey guys, Young Iceboy 2 here. I'm back with another review for you guys today of the Lego Ninjago Season 13, the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon from the summer wave of Ninjago sets that came out in 2020. So this is when this set came out. That means without wasting any time, I'm going to show you the minifigures that come in the set. First up, the minifigure that I'm going to show you now is a Hero Kai. So there is his face print. I don't know if you can see that very well. I don't think you guys can, but this is just the standard Kai that we see in every single Ninjago set. It's nothing new. It's just the same. Basically, it's the same head from the Lego Ninjago movie. So there's really nothing different. We see this head pretty much all the time. So just was showing you the head underneath there, the mask. So there's Kai with his helmet back on again. Basically, it's got some gold and some red here. There's some golden armor and these golden arms as well. There's these black hands as well, these black minifigure hands. Basically, these gloved hand, I think that's what it's supposed to be. The gloves on his hands. Gloved hand, I mean. That's what I meant. There's his shield as well. It's got printing of a lion. Really don't know if you can see that well enough. Might need to zoom in on that, I think. So there it is. So there is that on here. Also, it has a built-up weapon as well with this machete piece that goes into this, but stud with a hole in it, and then it goes all the way into this handle piece. That's where it goes into. There's some nice armor printing on his chest, and also his legs are the same legs from his Season 11 version, the Season 11 minifigure. So pretty much this is the Season 11 suit, but just with the armor on top of it. Basically this armor on top of it, pretty much. Pretty much what this suit is, pretty much. And also he has a clip on the back as well. Also you can take that off if you want. You can just take the clip off really, but it's there so you can store the weapons on the back as well. So that's what you can do here. But this isn't the only way to get Kai. I think you can get him in the Firestone mech, which I have, and I have done a review on that. So that means if you guys haven't seen that video, I'd recommend you check it out if you've not seen it. But yeah, that's where you can get Kai. So he's exclusive to that set and this set as well. This is, so I mean, if you get these two sets, this is the only way you can get him, pretty much. If you get those two sets, which I do have, though, but I do have them both, so yeah, that's great, isn't it? That means I've got two minifigures of Kai, pretty much. And here we have Hero Nia. So here's a printed shield that has a dragon on it this time. And also she's got this spear. This built up spear piece as well. She's got this golden spear head piece, which is in gold. So that is I think that's a different color. I've never seen these in gold, but this is But this is the same Nia that comes in every single set, really. It comes in every single set for season 13. I mean, that's not new. It's not a new wave. It came out last summer, so not quite new, but yeah. She comes in pretty much, I think, Journey to the Sorcerer's Dungeons. I think she comes in that set as well, I think. And also the Firestone Mech, she's in that one too. So, and then she comes in this set as well, so she's pretty much very easy to get, pretty much. I think I have 3 of this minifigure already. I have 3. That means 3 of this minifigure already, including this one. So it's quite shocking. But yeah. That means I have 3 duplicates now of this figure, which this figure is alright though. It's great. They're all great minifigures anyway. So Armor has some sort of like blue like lightning printing there. I don't know what that is really, but it is on there. And she has a bit of fur detailing on there as well. Fur printing. And this that continues onto her other arm. And then the other arm is like silver. She has some silver printing on her helmet as well, and also a grey mask as well. She has this blue band as well, this blue bandana on her leg, on her legs here, that continues all the way down here. Then she has that shiny printing here that was to represent like a bit of armor continuing down here. So there's some armor continuing down there on the legs. And I might need to zoom in on that face so you can see it a little bit better. It's still a bit blurry, isn't it, really? But there's Nia's face. It's the exact same from the Lego Ninjago movie as well. So since the Lego Ninjago movie, they've all had that same face since then. So it's nothing new. But I just wanted to show those of you who just wanted to know what face looks like underneath their helmet, but I'm sure all of you may have seen it. But just for some of you who haven't, which I imagine all of you have seen it, so yeah. And Nia also has this clip piece as well, which is in gold there, so it pretty much is on all of the ninja, but you can take it off. So it's not like this is stuck to it or anything, you can take it off. But I personally take it off. With my other figures, I just completely take it off. Personally, to me, just looks better without the clip on there. But if you want to, don't know, if you want to store the weapon on the back, if you want to, just you can store the shield or the spear as well on there. And I think that's it for Nia. Really, I think that's it for that figure. And here we have Jay. Hero Jay, we've got here. So he has the same shield as Nia. So it's got the same dragon printing on here as well. The same like dragon face there. So Jay also has some armor as well. On here. Here's a bit of armor as well there. Some armor printing there, and also his arm is also silver, and then his other arm is just blue. He also has this chain weapon. I think it's a mace. I think this is what this is anyway. Could be a mace or a morning star. I'd imagine it's a morning star, but whatever it is. And there's Jay's face underneath there. Also, there's his alternate face. There's some printing here, some like bandana printing on his legs and there. And also has a clip on the back as well. So you've got a clip on there, which is also removable. And next up we have the Awakened Warriors. That's what we've got here. One of the Awakened Warriors that I've got here. So he's got this sword here. Also he has a all black helmet. And then this bone piece here as well. Then also he has some green printing on his eyes as well, and also on his mouth and nose. And he's pretty much just an all black skeleton. That's pretty much all that he is, really. And I'm not really going to show you the other one because he's pretty much the same. So this is pretty much the same as the other one there. So there's pretty much nothing really different about the other one, because you get two of them. So you get this guy and then the other guy. So that's just about it. But it's cool because it's using that new skeleton head that Lego have been using for quite a while, I think. I think they first started using that with the was it the Legacy sets? I think the Legacy skeletons were the first ones to have this new skull. So pretty much just the brand new skeleton head. So that's all that this is, really. I think the brand new skeleton heads are a lot better than the just standard Lego ones. like the ones that they've been using for years. I think the ones that Lego have been using for years were just like, I think they were just the minifigure head, but just printed to be like a skull, which is very different, isn't it? Very different, but this is the newer skeleton. So that's just about it for him. And then the last minifigure we have is the Skull Sorcerer. So there's the Skull Sorcerer. He's also holding a skull as well. So this is where the Skull Sorcerer pretty much gets his powers from. So that's how it's portrayed in the show. But in the show, the skull is floating, but basically he's holding it, really. The Skull Sorcerer is holding the skull, which is very nice. Pretty much, it's almost similar to the Awakened Warriors, but it has eye pupils and teeth. It's got like, and also the skull is basically the skull is in this sort of like glow in the dark sort of color, but it doesn't really glow in the dark. I don't really know if it does, but it might, but I don't really know. But I don't think it does really, but sort of a nice, sort of very like lime green. I think this is what this is supposed to be, like lime green. That's a nice color, really. It looks very like evil, doesn't it? Skull Sorcerer also has some writing here. I don't really know if you can see very well. Sorry about the camera on my iPad to be so blurry, but there is some Ninjago writing that I don't really know what it says. Some of you guys might know what it says, but I don't really know. It probably says something like undead. I think that's what this probably says. I think that's what it says anyway. That's what the writing says here. It probably means something like that, I suppose, isn't it? Let's see here. The Skull Sorcerer has this symbol. I don't know what the symbol really represents, but I think it's supposed to represent like the Skull Sorcerer, that symbol. Skull Sorcerer also has these wings that are from Chima, I think. So these are where these wings are from. But yeah, I mean, I like the wings, really. They look really great on this figure. Also, the Skull Sorcerer is also using a new, I think it's a hat/mask mold. I think it looks really cool, you know, the mask and the hat all together. It looks really amazing. I really like this combination. It's really great. Just this mask and hat piece is just so amazing. I love it when we get like brand new molds for like villains. It's just so cool. I mean, it's so cool just to see this, really. And also, I'm going to take off the Skull Sorcerer's hat and mask, should I say. But it is a hat and a mask, but yeah. There's the Skull Sorcerer's face underneath. Obviously, he looks very angry there. That's what his face looks like. And again, I think you can just about see his face there, I think. He has that, like, triangle on his head there, like, whatever that is, that shape is there, but there's those green eyes and yeah, teeth showing as well. And I think that's just about it for the Skull Sorcerer. So yeah, that's it for the Skull Sorcerer, really. And, you know, I really love that figure. The Skull Sorcerer is just an amazing figure, really. Like, all out. I suppose the wings sort of make him, like, a lot bigger, I suppose, don't they? So I sort of like that figure, really. It's a great figure to have, really. Just an amazing figure, really, all out. I think that's the main reason why I was sort of excited for this set, because, you know, it comes with the Skull Sorcerer, and it's sort of another, pretty much, I think this is sort of more cheaper way to get him. I mean, the set isn't quite cheap, but it's sort of an alright price. I think I got this set for 56 pounds. I think that's how much I got the set for on, well, Amazon. That's where I got the set from, and it was, so it's kind of cheap. So a little bit cheaper than the, like, Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon set. Like, that's a really big, you know, that's a really big set, and that's sort of the last set I need to get, really. Sort of the last set that I need to get to pretty much complete my, to complete my season 13 collection. Just need to complete, I just need to get that set. Once I do, I mean, that will be great, pretty much. But yeah, not talking about that set, let's talk about the side builds. The side builds that come in the set. So this is the first side build. So obviously this side build is a lot bigger than the ones that we get in, like, in all the other sets, really. There is, I mean, this is a big side build. I mean, the side build is generally nice, really. I mean, not many side builds look great, but this is just amazing. Let's see, you have a statue of Cole's mom as well. Cole's mom, Lily. So that's basically, that's just a statue of her as well there. Which looks, well, it looks great. I mean, I like it when they reference a lot of stuff to, like, the Ninjago TV show. I like it when they reference, like, just, you know, characters like that, I suppose, isn't it? But there's the, so there's the thing where you can basically put your characters, like, on. Those of you who don't know, this is pretty much for the board game. Because basically, you know, if you get all these side builds, you can connect them to the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon. So that's the whole purpose of these side builds, really. Is that you can connect it. Pretty much you can connect them to make, like, one big thing, really. Pretty much there's, like, a couple of, like, connecting points here. Like this bit here. And it's pretty much all the way around. So that means you can connect them anywhere you wish. I think there's, like, a few connecting points here. There's a few connectors on here. But also, obviously this statue keeps falling down. I'm gonna put this down just to show you a little bit better. I'm just holding it in the air. Yeah, so that's what this looks like here. So the side build looks a little bit better. And I just do that. I'm going to show you what this actually does. So that means there is a bit of an action feature here. Pretty much you can hit this and then literally the statue, like, falls over like that. That means there's a bit of an effect on there as well. I'm going to show you how that pretty much works with a minifigure just standing there. I mean, pretty much you could just pretend, you know, like the ninja, like stepping here and then literally falls down, doesn't it? It's pretty much that feature is pretty much for the board game that you can play with that, pretty much. That means if you can connect all the sets, you know. Especially, you know, if you get like the big one, like the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon, I think that's where you can connect all these side builds and pretty much you can play the board game pretty much. Which, I mean, I'm not going to do that personally. Personally, I'm not too interested in the board game, but it's good, you know, it's there. It's there if people want to, like, use it. It's there if people want to play the board game, but I'm not really going to. But, yeah. Also, there's one of these green flame pieces, because there was one of them there, but I think I lost it. I think I lost it somewhere. I think it's on the floor somewhere, but just imagine that that was there, pretty much. It was there, but I lost it somewhere, but yeah. So there is a spider there as well, just a Lego spider, pretty much. That's what that is. Also, I think that is it for the side build, but just one more thing I want to mention. There's a bit of like, basically this, I think this is supposed to like represent like lava like shooting up. So that's what that is supposed to represent there. It does look amazing, but just using those, just some standard parts really. That is. And the last side build I'm going to show you is this one. So this is what this looks like really. It's using like just the normal skull, well, just that brand new skull piece, but it's pretty much got no eye printing on it at all. Pretty much it just looks very different to the other ones, but yeah, that's what this looks like. Let's see, it has another one of those green flame pieces again, which looks really cool. That's a really cool piece to see there as well. Then also there's a crystal there, like a blue crystal over there, and then there's some stickers on those tiles there. There's a bit, and also there's like a twirling effect on there as well, on that thing, on that tile. Then there's like a skull on that tile again. There's a tile with an arrow on it as well. But also you can move this thing, so you can move it like that. Don't know what it's supposed to represent, but maybe it's supposed to represent, you know, maybe you could have a ninja on there and they, you know, they could be crossing from there to here. Then, you know, they sort of maybe get to this point and then it moves like that to get them to the next point, really. So that's pretty much what that is supposed to be for. And you'll see it has a golden heart piece. Basically, it's supposed to represent, you know, like if you're playing the board game, you know, you can pretty much go from there to there just to get that, you know, just to get extra life, pretty much. I think that's the whole idea of that, I think. Honestly don't know because I haven't played the board game, so I don't really know. But that could be what that is. But that's good enough explanation I've got for that, really. And that's pretty much it for the side build. But there's one more thing I'm going to show you. So this is what both of the side builds look like when they're connected. So that's pretty much what they look like there. Pretty much it makes it a lot bigger, really, doesn't it? I mean, this is a very big side build, pretty much. I mean, I think it's bigger than the ones we've gotten. Like in all the other sets, you know, this is like big. I think this is sort of like a nice expansion to like the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon. Because I do have Journey into the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeons. I do have that one. But I don't have like the big Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon, but I do have that set. Obviously I might do a video on that set, like all those side builds connected. Like I could do that, you know, when I get that set I could do that, you know. But I haven't got that set just yet, so once I've got it, I'll do a video on, you know, how these bits connect. But yeah, this is pretty much what this side build is for, really. Pretty much it's not one of those side builds that you feel like, nah, it's not good. But this is generally good, really. It's a good side build. I mean, a lot of side builds in other sets have not looked the best, you know. A lot of sets do have good side builds, but this generally has a good side build, and the side build sort of matters this time. Like, this side build, like, pretty much has a meaning, really. It sort of matters. Because there's some side builds that probably didn't matter, and that's about it. But this one is great. I'm done talking about the side builds, and I'm going to show you the set now. That's what I'm going to show you now. Here we have the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon. Looks amazing, doesn't it? So there's the wings there as well. Actually, I might bring that set a little bit closer so you can see it like more up close this time. And here we have the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon here. So this is what it looks like. Looks great, doesn't it? So there it is at this angle and this side. So I generally really like this because I like the idea of like a skeletal dragon. But this is sort of like, you know, this is pretty much like a skeleton. Pretty much is like a undead skeleton, well, undead like dragon. It does look pretty cool, you know. I like the color scheme of it. Like the whole green and gray and white. I mean, these colors look so great together. It's so amazing how this is built, really. I just sort of like it. I don't think we've ever got any dragons like this in Ninjago. I think this is just amazing. Yeah, I like the wings. They sort of use like this fabric sort of piece. Pretty much the wings are fabric, pretty much. So that's what the wings look like, pretty much, from the back. Which I know it's sort of not the best way to look at it from the back. There's these banners here as well. These two banners there on the dragon. So here you have the dragon there. I don't know if you can see it very well. Probably can't, but sorry guys, just one moment. Yeah, so there's the dragon. There's a more better look at pretty much his face there. Also, there's like rib cage at the bottom, which looks really. It looks generally cool, really, doesn't it? That does. Pretty much, it sort of gives away the idea that it's like a. Pretty much, it's a skeletal dragon. Pretty much, this is what this is supposed to be. You know, in the show, the dragon is like. I generally say, you know, the dragon was dead in the show, but it did come back to life, you know. Like it was, you know, it's crazy how this is sort of supposed to represent like an undead dragon. Because in the show, I think the Skull Sorcerer sort of brings the dragon like back to life. So that's how that. This is what the dragon is pretty much like in the show. I mean, it wasn't really necessarily his dragon, but it sort of works because he pretty much rided the dragon pretty much in the show. But the dragon's actual name is Griefbringer, so that's what the dragon is actually called in the show. Like in season 13 of Ninjago, so that's what the dragon is called that. In this set, it's pretty much called the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon, but yeah. And sorry about the teeth pieces being like two different colors. It's just I lost one of them because one of them was supposed to be in white, but I sort of didn't have many of those white tooth pieces, so I had to use a black one instead for the other side. I know it looks odd, but I just lost that piece, so I had to make do with what I had. And so pretty much that's the same color as the toes there. That one on that side, so I had to use one of them. But yeah, also you can also move his mouth as well. His mouth is fully articulated. As well, you can just articulate the mouth however you want to make it move, really. There's one more thing that I really need to show you. Yeah, this is what was in the ribcage of the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon, which it did fall out as I was moving it, but the ribcage is just this like boulder piece in trans green. To show you what's inside of it. Okay, yeah. Sorry about that, guys. There's a spider on there. There's a couple of spiders in here. Yeah, so that's what was in there. But how that comes out is that you open the rib cage like that. So this is what the Skull Sorcerer looks like on his dragon. That's what he looks like there. But also there's these shooters on here as well. These black. These are blaster things on here as well. So that's how these work. But you can move the tail and all that. But you can't articulate it, but you can just swing the tail. So you can move the feet as well. But yeah, but that's just about it for the review on this set, guys. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. And just remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thank you. Bye.